After losing Chandler Jones this offseason, the Arizona Cardinals needed to find some replacements at edge rusher. They didn't address the position in free agency, but in the third round of the NFL draft, they selected two edge rushers that they hope will help fill this void. In this video, I'm going to talk about the first of those edge rushers, Cameron Thomas. The Cardinals selected Thomas with the 23rd pick in the third round, number 87 overall, out of San Diego State University. Thomas had a breakout season in 2021, following a couple seasons where he was still a solid performer. Now, Thomas was undersized when he arrived at San Diego State University at 235 pounds, but has since bulked up to 267 pounds. In the 2021 season, he had 71 tackles, 11.5 sacks, 21 hits, and 44 hurries. His combination of size and production makes him an exciting prospect. Unfortunately for Thomas, a hamstring injury during the pre-draft process prevented him from running many of the drills that teams look at, which is probably one of the reasons he fell to the third round. As an edge rusher, Thomas makes good use of his hands, is solid against the run, and was very productive. He has adequate but not elite bend for the position. He doesn't have elite twitchiness or speed, but he does have a strong motor and goes after plays. A lot of people, myself included, thought that he was going to be converted into a 3-4 defensive end based on his size and profile, but Steve Keim has said that they plan to have him play outside linebacker, but they'll probably take advantage of his size and versatility to move him up and down the line a little bit. Now, unfortunately, Thomas's injury and the lack of times in things like the 40-yard dash make it difficult to find good comps for him. But using what data was available, information about his play style and his strengths, I found 3 NFL players that I think are reasonable comps for Thomas and give us an idea of what kind of player he could be at the next level. Now, the first comp is Sam Hubbard of the Cincinnati Bengals. In his 4 years with the Bengals, Hubbard has been a solid run defender who has put up decent sack numbers. He's not a top pass rusher, but he does enough, partnered with his run defense, to be a valuable player. Now, Thomas is probably a little bit more athletic than Hubbard. While we don't have a 40-yard dash for Thomas, I suspect he probably would fare better than the 4.96 that Hubbard put up in the pre-draft process. Thomas fared better in the shuttle, but not quite as well in the 3-cone. Didn't have quite the broad jump of Hubbard, but put up more reps on the bench press. I think that Thomas is going to be comparable to Hubbard in terms of run defense, but has the tools to be a better pass rusher than Hubbard. Now, the next player comparison I'm going to look at is actually another player from the Bengals, Hubbard's teammate Trey Hendrickson. Hendrickson was drafted by the New Orleans Saints and had a little bit of a slow start to his career, but in the 2020 season he broke out with 13.5 sacks and followed it with 14 sacks in 2021. Hendrickson isn't as good of a run defender as Hubbard, and I do think that Thomas is going to be better against the run than Hendrickson is, but I do think Hendrickson's pass rushing skills represent sort of a high-end comp for Thomas. He'll need to develop as a pass rusher at the next level to reach this point, but I do think this is sort of that high-end potential that he has. Now, again, the physical comparisons are tough because we don't have a lot of data for Thomas. They're very similar in terms of size and arm length. Hendrickson had a solid 4.65 40-yard dash, solid 20-yard split, 10-yard split. He performed better than Thomas in the shuttle, but not as well in the 3-cone. Their verticals were identical, though Hendrickson had a better broad jump, and Thomas was better in the bench press. Hendrickson isn't as good in run defense as Hubbard, and I do think this is an area where Thomas will probably be better. Now, my last comp is a player who I think represents a nice balance between run defense and pass rushing ability, and that's Preston Smith of the Green Bay Packers. Smith is a better run defender than Hubbard, but not quite as effective a pass rusher as Hendrickson has become. He's a little bit taller than Thomas and a little bit bigger, and his arms are a little bit longer. Now, again, we can't compare the 40-yard times, the 20 split, the 10 split, but Thomas fared a little bit better in the shuttle and the 3-cone. His vertical was pretty comparable, didn't have the same broad jump as Preston Smith, but they both put up 24 reps in the bench press. Over his career, Preston Smith has been solid against the run and has had a season with as many as 12 sacks in 2019. But the typical season for Smith is going to be more in the 8 to 9 sack area. And when you consider Thomas's ability against the run and his pass rushing potential, I think Preston Smith represents the type of player that Thomas could become. But even if Thomas meets the low-end comp of Sam Hubbard, that would be a solid addition to this defense. Who do you think is the best comp for Cameron Thomas? Let me know in the comments below. Also, please be sure to click like on this video and subscribe to my channel for more Arizona Cardinals content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on The Cardinal Rule.